Good morning, everyone. Clock is ticking. In today, got under 7 hours left. Under 7 hours left to go in the transfer window. I am Carl Levy, your host as well. Welcome to the Totally Leave Your Whole Football Podcast Deadline Day special as well. We will discuss everything, all the stuff regarding. Just set up my camera up as well because it's been a while. So yes, we are going to discuss all the transfer window stuff that's happening today as well. We'll have Stefan joining us on shortly as well. So please, we'll get some news as well. We'll do the alternative take on the transfer deadline day, give our stuff as well with all the breaking news that will be coming in during this time as well. So what I will say is if anyone wants to join us as well on here for live chat as well, please, I will put in the chat, the link into the chat as well if anyone wants to join. And yes, we are looking forward to a huge day today in the transfer market as well. We've got some deals we'll talk about some huge deals coming up as well. Let's get on to some news that's happened in the last couple of minutes as well before anything happens. So we ended up 24 hours ago that Crystal Palace are in a deal with Jakob Strand-Larsen from Wolves for about £48 million, 43 plus 5 million add-ons. That deal looked like it was going to be done, but also we are having a bit of a situation at the moment where the future of John Philippe Mateta with his deal going to AC Milan, that deal is under threat due to the club doctor from AC Milan is kind of concerned about after his recent knee injuries he had as well. They were examining his knee in Paris today as well, and so yeah, there's a lot of stuff as well. Strand-Larsen has completed his medical for his move to Palace. So yes, under 8 hours to go left in this transfer window. We'll get to Stefan to join us shortly as well, which is going to be an interesting thing. And so we'll talk about all the clubs, including across England, Scotland, and the rest of Europe. England and the rest, most of Europe will close around 7 p.m. Spain will close around 10:59, and it'll be I think it's 11 or 12 midnight here in Scotland as well. So yeah, we've got some stuff in news. Let's go to some one big breaking news, and this is unexpected. What unexpected we had about a couple of minutes ago. Multiple sources have confirmed that Arsenal are holding talks with Hearts over a potential loan deal for striker James Wilson. Wilson is a come from the Hearts Academy graduate. He has 18 months left in his contract. He's option extended for about a year. James Wilson is understood to be traveling to London in preparation for a potential agreement between the clubs. The teenager only just made one league start across this season. Wilson impressed for the Time Classic Club last season, scoring 6 goals, including a spectacular equaliser against rivals Hibs as well. So yeah, we're going to bring some loads of news over the next couple of hours as well. We'll be here till at least 4 p.m. and then we'll be back for the evening session just at about 6 o'clock to continue to the rest of the night until the end of the transfer window closes. Business closes around 7 p.m. onwards as well. That will include late deals as well. So yeah, so keep an eye on all the news that's been happening as well. Thank you to Stefan and Reese hosting the show, all the shows this past weekend, including the championship and also the Saturday show as well. Really good from both of them as well. So yeah, we're going to get some cracking. We're going to be some interesting rumors going up in the next couple of hours completely. So yeah, it is going to be very interesting as well. How rumors is going to be spread around over the next couple of hours as well. So let's go to some other news as well. We know that Axel Desai's had a medical schedule at West Ham for his head of his loan move later on today as well. Also, the big news from the last 24 hours, we know Chelsea were in the close talks of signing Jeremy Yake from Rennes until Liverpool came in last night and made an offer to a verbal agreement to sign the Chelsea target in a deal with up to £60 million. He will be. This deal will not be. He will be going back to. He will be joining the club later this summer, rather than join the club. Rather than join the club today. So he will still be a Rennes player till the end of June, and he will be moving to Liverpool in the summer as well. Let's go to Nottingham Forest's stuff as well. news on that. And Forest unlikely to let James McAtee leave the club today, despite there's been interest from multiple clubs, including a couple of Premier League clubs as well as Como, Leipzig, Stuttgart, Marseille, Feyenoord. He looks like he's going to be staying at the club as well. We expect some news in Scotland as well that you know, Arne Engels, bid move to Nottingham Forest has been rejected from Nottingham Forest. Celtic and Matt O'Neill, he does not want to sell him. Forest made an improved offer of around nearly £17.3 million, which is a massive fee for a player in Scotland. But Celtic don't want to lose Engels in this window as well, who Engels did sign with Celtic 2 summers ago for a record £11 million fee, and he expects to be Celtic player by the end of the deadline day as well. We'll keep out some other stuff as well. Arsenal in Sky Germany, Arsenal were linked with a move to Sandro Tonali, but Newcastle have rejected any inquiries at the moment as well. They've had no approach as well, and they expect to reject any inquiry as well. Also, there's some news for Fulham as well. Fulham's did sign PC Eindhoven striker Ricardo Pepi is now off completely due to the fact they failed to meet the valuation of what PSV wanted for about nearly, I think it was about £30 million, and I think Fulham was only would have spent up to 28. And also Wolves later today, they're making 2 incomings as well. Adrian Gomez from Marseille will be on loan with an option to buy, and Adam Arshall from Santo will be a permanent deal. So that deal will hopefully be done in the next few hours as well, to be completed as well. So what an interesting transfer window we've had. Let's talk about the start at the transfer window with everything that was going at the start of the month, with Man U, Chelsea sacking both their managers at the start of the transfer window, with Ruben Amorim and Enzo Maresca both leaving the clubs, their respective clubs as well. Liam Rossini's come in as well, from Strasbourg through the Chelsea group, and Mark Carrick is now the manager till the end of the season, interim manager till the end of the season as well. But let's look at the window, how it started, and let's start off the big deals, the deals that have been done up to the start, as well. And we have to start off with Man City, signing 2 huge players for the future going forward. And Antoine Semenyo and Matt Gray were the 2 big deals that's been happening in the transfer window. Semenyo joined from Bournemouth for around £64 million, while Matt Gray joined from Crystal Palace in his last year of 6 months of his contract for £20 million. Those are the 2 big deals that both clubs that Man City did do, especially in not much happening in the other clubs as well. And also the news from Spurs early the start the transfer window, they signed Colin Gallagher from Atletico Madrid for £34 million, while Brendan Johnson joined Crystal Palace for £35 million as well. West Ham made 2 big signings in that transfer window, signing Pablo Felipe and Tati Castellanos from both Gil Vicente and Lazio for around nearly £50 million, where Adama Traore has joined West Ham on an undisclosed free, and a big outgoings were Lucas Paqueta going to Flamengo back to Brazil for £36.5 million, or Nicolas Fulcree joining AC Milan on loan, Gujo Ruiz, going back to joining Spain to Valencia on loan on a permanent deal as well. Yeah, so there's loads of deals we'll talk about as well, so it's going to be an interesting day. We'll keep an eye on some breaking news. All the news is coming as well. Also, like I said, just not too long ago, Arsenal holding unexpected. This was unexpected transfer deal of the day. Arsenal holding talks with Hearts teenager James Wilson on a loan deal as well, due to the fact Arsenal have got loads of key players out injured as well. Mika Moreno's just is out for an extended period of time now after his injury after Saturday as well. So and also looking at some other news as well from Bournemouth, that whole club as well. Bournemouth approach for Luis Henrique has been knocked back, as a Serie wants to keep it to the club at the rest of the season. Both want someone who could play as a winger and a wing back as well. So, let's look at the other transfers across, not just in the Premier League. Let's look across in the EFL as well. There's some other deals that was done over the last couple of days as well. Zach Vinter is going to be joining. He'll be leaving Bristol City to join Wrexham as well. We'll get to Stefan's take on Wrexham shortly once he joins us live as well, and keep an eye as well. as well for other news as well. But yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be a good deadline day. If anyone wants to join, hit the like button and subscribe button, and also hit the button. Please comment, message in for all your takes on what your views and giving me your questions as well too, as well. So yeah, there's so much things going in and out across the Premier League as well. So and also the Europe as well. So yeah, some key deals that's going to happen as well. So matter of fact, we know there could be some deals could go a bit close to on the deadline day as well. So yes, it's going to be an interesting day today, as I said as well. Some deals going on. Let's get into the latest on the EFL clubs as well. Leicester are closing in 3 deals across deadline day after they sacked Matis Fuentes earlier last week as well. They're closing a 3 deadline day signings. Joe Abarero, who is going to be close to joining the Foxes on loan from Southampton, and Jamal Lacazette has been given permission by Newcastle to make the move to the King Power Stadium. That deal is close to joining as well as he's out of contract for the rest of the summer. They also in the side Divine Makasa from Manchester City on loan as well. Also in League One, Plymouth have agreed with a deal for Miller centre back Wes Harding. The Jamaican is going to medical. Also Plymouth also close in one more sign before tonight's transfer deadline as well. Musa Sissoko has left Watford to join Greek side Panathinaikos. He made 99 appearances across his 2 spells, including 21 games in this competition this season as well. He's now joining Panathinaikos after he left Vicarage Road. We'll keep an eye on some other deals. Also, Stoke also make some moves as well. They have agreed a deal with Crystal Palace winger Jason Raksaki. That deal is understood does not include any option or any obligation to buy. He has been linked with a move to Monaco, Marseille, Monaco, Lille, Millwall, and Celtic. Swansea were close to agreeing a deal, but in order to get agree in personal terms as well. So yeah, also other news as well in the EFL. Sailing Dieng, the goalkeeper, is close to joining Feyenoord on loan until the end of the season, with option to buy his major scale for today. Also, Man City were in talks yesterday to bring back Xavier Napan back from his loan from Middlesbrough. That he's been pleased with the development. He's going to be going into the first team squad at the Etihad as well for Pep Guardiola as well. And especially we're looking at other news as well. We do expect commentary who were 8 points in the lead and now being level points with Middlesbrough. They need some reinforcements. They are close to finalising a deal for Brentford to sign midfielder Frank Oneka. That deal should be initial alone with obligation to buy if Coventry go up. Both Sheffield United and Birmingham were also keen, but after Frank Lampard needs to bolster that squad after after a recent wobble they've had at the moment as well. Yeah, so we'll keep eyes some news across over the next couple of minutes as well. We'll also just see we'll also get Stefan's perspective on Wrexham. I'll just get some news. They are working on a deal to sign Barnsley striker Davis Keller-Dunn before tonight's deadline. Bristol City were keen on the player, but it could mean that if Wrexham sign a striker today, Ryan Hardy expect to join Bolton and a potential deal till end of the season as well. So yeah, there's going to be loads of rumors are going on in the next couple of hours as well. So yes, and we'll be looking forward to having some debates as well. Talk about some of the big signings across the window, both across England, Scotland, and Europe as well. So keep an eye on that as well. So yeah, and let's look at the news in the Scottish Premiership as well. Let's see, and that's going to happen. We know that Celtic rejected the bid from Engels for Engels as well. Yeah, and like I said, it's so much. Celtic this morning have agreed a loan deal for Freiburg forward Junior Amadou. That close to discussing the details. We'll look with an option to buy clause. The Austrian international is in the UK and is set to undergo a medical. We could be expecting some departures from Rangers as well. Danilo and Nasala maybe depart Ibrox. Danilo is set to join NEC Nenjem. He was pitching in Holland over the weekend over a potential loan deal as well. The striker who has struggled since he joined at Ibrox in 2023 only scored 16 goals in 76 appearances for Rangers. Clayton Nassar will be joining Belgium Pro League Westfield on the cards. Well, that includes an option to buy as well. So also, last night we do expect Ryan Adiri, he's expected to join Rangers for the summer. His club has roster refused to sanction January exit, but he should be an issue between 2.6 and £3 million, and that deal should go through as well. Until that will be set, he will side in the summer as well. Over the last 24 hours as well, I think Cameron Archer's move to Rangers hanging in the balance as well. After the discussion with Southampton over loan deal to forward, but it says with Archer departing from the club to join Wolves, they want to find a replacement before Archer does join Rangers as well too. And let's say good morning to my buddy Stefan. Stefan, good morning to you.
Hello, Carl. How are we doing, bud?
We are good. Thank you. Let's talk about loads of stuff what's been happening in the January transfer window. Yeah, we did expect at the start of January transfer window we had our manager transfer window when
exactly
Amarin and Enzo Maresca left their clubs at Man United and Chelsea. We didn't expect that was going to be a bang. They start with a bang with on New Year and around the New Year's for the transfer window.
I mean, I can't remember seeing a January transfer window like this. Not so much for players, but for managerial seconds. We had 2 in 1 day on that Monday. We had Amarim and who we shall not name on this channel ever again. We had those 2 on Monday. Plus today we've just had breaking news after breaking news. I think I put some in our chat this morning as I was just opening my eyes and waking up at the back of 7 when it all started, or the back of 8, whenever it was. But there's deals going through left, right and centre. And one that's standing out to me at the moment, Carl, is Jurgen Strand Larsen from Wolves to Crystal Palace for £48 million. Now, I'm just baffled by this because I don't think, in my own personal opinion, he's a £48 million player.
No, I don't think he is, especially he's only scored 1 goal from open play this season. And the thing is, I think because the Wolves got him permanently after he joined on loan last season. And I think he was linked with with 2 huge bids from Newcastle last summer. And this is why I said, as a Leeds fan, we were willing to pay up to £40 million, no less, but in a structured deal. Palace wanted Wolves wanted to all cash in hand. So in a way, it's not £40 million. If Mateta's £30 million, why is Strand Larsen 40? I don't know how Palace are playing.
I have no idea how the sums are worked out for a player for £48 million. But I tell you another one that's baffling me, and it's coming from Scotland. Nottingham Forest have put in 2 bids for Aaron Engels. They put in one at £14 million, and then another one at £17.3 million. Now, not being funny, but any other Scottish club in the Premier League, maybe apart from Rangers, would bite your hand off at that money.
Yeah.
Because that could buy you a whole new team. When you look at it, because the transfer fees we pay in Scotland are nothing compared to what we pay in England, nothing at all. And I think Celtic are foolish not to accept any bid for Jurgen Strand Larsen at all. I think
it's a baffling as well. Listen, it's good for £70.3 million. It will bring Celtic some reinforcements, and I know it's look at the other news in Scotland. You're not going to believe this stuff. What I said before, as well over an hour ago, that unexpected, Arsenal in talks with my Jambos for initial loan deal for James Wilson, he's got 18 minutes left in his contract because of the injury. Are you surprised I sort of making such an unexpected?
The reason why I'm pulling this face cow is because if he goes down there, he's not going to get a game. He's going to be a bench warmer or a reservist at most for injury cover. Now, I get it. It's the lure of the Premier League. It's the lure of the current league leaders, Arsenal. But if I was thinking, I need minutes. So, do I go to a club that's rich in English football and sit on the bench for the remainder of the season? Or do I stay at my current club and fight for my place? Or do I ask for a loan to somewhere like Kilmarnock, Livingston, Dundee, where I'm guaranteed to get minutes on the football field? I mean, I wouldn't do a Kieran Tierney again. I wouldn't do what I call a Kieran Tierney. Yes, he was loved by Arsenal fans, but the moment he got that injury, he found it very hard to get back in the team.
Yeah.
And he's come back up to Celtic off his well road with the home. We know that eventually. I'm just seeing it going across the bottom of his screen now on my TV. And I don't know. I mean, it's great for James Wilson to be linked with a club like Arsenal. But in terms of minutes on the pitch, we all know he's not going to get them, right? So I think he's better staying at you guys.
He's only had one game. He's only played one game appearance this season, Stefan.
Or if he's not going to stay at you guys, go to somewhere like Livingston or Kilmarnock. I mean, I know they're in a relegation battle, but it would get him minutes on the pitch, right? And
it would do. It's just I don't know if Hearts will be interested to do those deals. It's surprising for a club like Arsenal to really come in unexpectedly on the last day of the transfer window to do something like this. It's just even Paul Merson can't scratch his head at the moment as well.
I've never seen Arsenal do this with a Scottish club on any transfer deadline day. Even I'm baffled at this news. I'm baffled at this. And apparently, I'll just let the ticker tick round again.
Well, I've just seen that West Not Forest did have an approach for Hayden Hackney, not backed by Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I've just seen that it's just been rejected. But also, I don't know if you remember Joe Aribo. Was it Rangers and Southampton?
He's going to Leicester.
So that might make our mutual friend, Mr. Anton, a little bit more happier considering
I don't know.
Leicester's
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, he couldn't care less what players come to the club.
I mean, in terms of my championship team,
let's go to Wrexham.
As you probably saw last night, if you watched any of the championship review at all, just before we went on air at 8 o'clock, Annie came on and he looked utterly dejected. I says, "What is it, Annie?" He showed me his phone and Wrexham had signed Bristol City left back.
Zach Vinter, yeah.
And Annie was just so dejected. But on the opposite side of the screen, I was cock-a-hoop because apparently Wrexham had gone in for him in the summer with a £3 million bid. It was rejected. So we waited 5-6 months and we got him for a steal at 1.5 million on contract until summer 2029. Now, I know he's got a slight injury, thanks to Annie for updating me last night, but once he's over said injury, he could feature quite heavily as a left back because, don't forget, James McLean went back to Derry City. We've loaned Connor Cody to Charlton to give him some minutes on the pitch. And incidentally, Charlton beat Leicester 2-0. I'm not sure if Connor made an appearance in that game, but that was a good result for Charlton. And yeah, it's been the news. Also, we've been linked with Siddiqui Sharif from Agers for a reported transfer fee, Cal, of £19 million, but I don't see that one going anywhere today, if I'm honest. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some big deals that's happening in the transfer window, Stefan. We'll start off with Manchester City. They made two huge signings, signing Anton Semenyo and Matt Gay from both their clubs, from their former clubs, Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Do you think Man City have kind of won this transfer window at this moment because of the signings they've had to make, and they're really investing on, because of, Semenyo and Gray have come in, they've started the clubs decently well for them?
Well, I know Reese might have a very different opinion on this, but at this moment in time, you can't say against them. Of course, they've won the transfer window. They've got Semenyo in for £64 million, and they've got Mark Gahey for £20 million. So all in all, an £84 million spend on two players, but it's two top English players. I mean, Antoine Semenyo looks like he's been in the Man City for years already, and he's only played like 3 or 4 games. And Martin Gay, he's looked all right as well. But at the same time, as Chris says, we did see City's weakness yesterday too. We've not improved in the fullback area, but as we all know, big clubs like Man U, Man City, Arsenal, they tend to do their major business. I mean, like major business in the summer window.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
For a lot of the big clubs, they sometimes see January as a bit of a hindrance. The January transfer window is a bit of a hindrance. But I think that Man City have been under so much pressure to improve in certain areas that they felt that they had to buy a couple of players in January. Their hand was sort of forced because they have had quite a few injuries this season, and the side's not been playing as good as you would expect a Pep Guardiola side to be performing in the Premier League. Certainly yesterday, but I mean, taking nothing away from Solanke's second goal for Tottenham, that scorpion kick was just, it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Well, look at some other news across the other Premier League clubs. Let's look at probably, I'm gonna say, we'll talk about Man United later on because I know there's not been much going on,
I think there'll be more potential outgoings in the youth set up today rather than major incomings, to be honest.
Absolutely. So let's go. Let's look at the other clubs. Let's look at Bournemouth, especially Bournemouth losing Semenyo, but they brought in, they spent nearly £30 million.
This is a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah. Rayan from Vasco da Gama for £30.3 million. He has got a clause in there for nearly 90 million, over 90 million, over 100 million euros, around £86.6 million in his release clause. Do you think he's going to be one of those players who's going to be in the next decade be a Ballon d'Or contender?
I think so. From what I've heard from the likes of yourself, Cal, in the chat, and Reese as well, I think he could be a Ballon d'Or contender within the next decade. I mean, he's mentioned in the same breath as the likes of Neymar, the young boy at Barca.
Lamau, yeah.
Yeah, he's mentioned in the same breath as all them. And for Bournemouth to get him for such what will be considered a steal at £30 million is really good business for them. And I think he'll be a really good replacement for Semenyo.
Yeah, I think he will be as well.
I
Let's
don't,
look at.
I don't think he's featured yet, has he? Since
He
he's
started
joined,
his first game this past weekend, so yeah. Yeah, made his first appearance this weekend.
albeit against struggling Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton, yeah, and he also assisted for got his first assistant out at Scott for the second goal. So yeah, so
Well, already he's starting to pay back some of that transfer fee, man, isn't he?
absolutely as well. Look at the other clubs in the transfer window. Let's talk about Aston Villa. Aston Villa had to let Donald Mayen go to Roma on loan with obligations by for £21.6 million, but they brought in Tammy Abraham from Besiktas. Even though he was on loan at Besiktas before Besiktas signed him permanently, and that complication. Allison, who's from Gremeno for £10 million, another Brazilian talent come through.
A good bit of business,
Also Douglas Luiz rejoining. Villa on Juventus alone with their injuries issues. And how do you think Villa's transfers have been going for with the incomes that they needed to do?
I think it's been a good window for Villa, I'll be honest. I've always liked Unai Emery as a manager. Fair enough, when he was at Arsenal, he didn't get rid of Bobby Green because it's a different setup, different structure at Arsenal. But I've always liked them. And I think he's done very astute business in this window. He's got quite a lengthy injury list at the moment, so I think he's replaced well. Even though Villa didn't win yesterday, I don't think that'll derail their challenge at all. They'll just go again. And Villa actually got a stroke of luck because with Man City only drawing at Tottenham, and really still a points difference between them. So I think this is how it's going to go. I'm going to stem my neck out in the line.
Absolutely as well. Absolutely. So
Now, I'm not sure who's going to win the league, but I think to finish second, it's going to be Villa. Third, it's going to be a toss-up between Arsenal and Man City, and who doesn't finish third will finish first. There you go.
Yeah.
And I think Man United will be in the top 4 mix as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with that one. So let's look at some big news from last night, Stefan, with some breaking news. We thought Jeremy Jacquet was going to be close to joining Chelsea from Red, and then Liverpool have picked him to sign him in the summer. Are you surprised Liverpool have got bid it in for him beating Chelsea?
Yeah, I mean, because I was like you and Reece, I thought for all the world he's going to Chelsea. He's expressed a keen interest to join Chelsea himself. And normally when a player expresses an interest to join a club, that's the club they end up at. Let's be honest.
Are you surprised that he's not joining the club now and then he's waiting, then he should be joining the summer? Because Liverpool do need some reinforcements in that back.
Well, yes, but as far as I understand that, he'll pass his medical, they'll loan him straight back to them, so he'll finish the season at Rennes and then he'll come over in the summer. Yeah. But I'm very confused as to why he's not just coming in right now, because I feel that Liverpool need to freshen up.
Yeah.
Rather badly.
They do, yeah, I agree as well. I think I wouldn't be surprised. I'm a bit surprised that he's not joining now and then. So, like Chris just said just now, actually. Good morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, good morning.
Hope you're a lot better.
As well, my friend.
Aye, absolutely as well. Just keep an eye on some news coming in, some news across Europe. I'm going to check on some other deals across Europe through the transfer market website and see what other deals has been happening across Europe
as well. Just while you're doing that, Carl, back in Scotland, it's been a poor show from my Hibs boys in the transfer window.
Good to come to you about that. You sold Kieran Brownie for £7 million to Verona. That's a huge deal, a really huge deal.
For the club like Hibs, yes. But off the back of that, we've only made 3 signings, 1 permanent and 2 loans. And Dane Scarlett from Tottenham, Owen, whatever his name is, from Sligo Rovers, because I can't pronounce it because it's an Irish name, and Kai Andrews on loan from Coventry City. Now, you think about this. You're on loan from Coventry and Tottenham, okay? In particular, think about Kai Andrews for a minute. because if Coventry get promoted, he'll want to go back to Coventry and prove himself against the big boys in the Premiership. So realistically, we're only going to have him till May, June time, then he'll be back down there. We've got this Irish striker from Sligo Rovers on a 4-year deal. I don't know the transfer fee. I don't think it was disclosed. Here's a piece of breaking news coming through right now. From Al Hilal, Tony chooses Saudi Arabia still over Juventus.
Ivan
Tony, it's just broke from the Mirror via Sky Sports.
Yeah, I saw this last night about that, and I thought it's not surprising that he didn't want to, he was linked to Juventus, but I'm more surprised that why would, essentially Juventus are always looking for strikers at this current time. They always do as well. They like to, find strikers as well. I'll just keep an eye on some news, what's happening in the January transfer window across League Earn, So, Jeremy Boga moved from Nice to Juventus on loan with obligation to buy. The big move was from Italy, Ciro Immobile. He's moved from Bologna to Paris FC on a free transfer. The big move was Mohamed Kadamiete moved from Rennes to Al Hilal for 30 million euros as well. So that was another huge deal that has been done as well. I'm just looking over the other deals as well. Zinchenko, got recalled from back to Arsenal from Nottingham Forest. He's now joined Ajax. For 1.5 million euros on a 6-month deal with extension to increase his contract for longer term in the future as well. And but other than that, I have to say there's good, it's going to be so much deals because it's going to be happening so much over the next. Yeah.
But I do have to say, getting back to what I was saying about Hibs and their transfer dealings, when the boys came on yesterday, when all 3 of the new signings came on, they looked hungry. They wanted to play in the Hibs shirt, which was more than could be said for most of the team yesterday. Let's be honest, it was a very flat first half, but in the second half, once we brought the signings on the hour mark, the game improved. But a game can't be built around 3 players. It's practically impossible. No matter how hungry you are to impress in front of the fans on your debut. And what about this one, Carl? Adam Armstrong and Angel Gomez to have medicals with Wolves today.
Yeah, I mentioned that at the start of the show as well.
They're building for the championship, like.
Well, I think the situation with Angel Gomez, I think after what's going on at Marseille, he's not at the best. He's not the good mover, especially when Roberto De Zerbi his position's under threat at the moment. And when you played 30 different lineups in 30 games, it's a joke. And a player like Angel Gomez should have not gone to Marseille last summer, where I think he would have suited. I'm going to say something. I think he would have suited Man United if he came back to the club. And he did it, and I think I just don't see him getting anywhere into England under Thomas Tuchel for the World Cup. I think he's going to miss out completely. I think Gomez needs game, and I think he needs to show himself. Can he play in the Premier League? Because he's been away for quite a long time from England since he left Man U. So he does need some game time. I think for Adam Armstrong, that is a championship signing for next season.
Yeah,
I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League, But Southampton, they're okay with their finances, but they felt like they're still done because if Cameron Archer does not join Rangers today, I think Cameron Archer will be staying at St Mary's till the summer. So it's going to be interesting what the deals is going to be done completely because, as I said, not much money has been spent across Europe as well because I think it's the Bundesliga and League One are only the 2 big earners where I think Bundesliga have only spent nearly 80 million euros. I think Liga only spent over 60 million euros, so which is very modest. So, but Serie A has been one of the biggest, one of the second biggest because they have spent over 150 million pounds. So
I tell you, this transfer saga between Palace and AC Milan, this is going to go right until the 7 p.m. deadline today.
Yeah.
this is going to go, because apparently, from what I've heard in the last hour or so, the AC Milan doctor was going to examine him in London and in Paris. We're flying this doctor over 2 countries to examine a football player, and then there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
AC Milan might even want him.
Yeah,
Today.
I know. Especially because we expected, I think Christopher Nkunku was supposed to join Roma or Fenerbahce, but he's refused to stay as well. So, yeah, it's surprising. And Reece said to us last night that you know, Allegri will find a way at the moment, but we are hearing just now that from Palace that they are finalising the paperwork on Strand Larsen's move from Wolves. That's now going to happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, but in my opinion, a very, very overpriced evaluation. But that's just my opinion. I'm only a podcaster.
Well, with the Premier League money, it's Premier League, for that kind of money, it's peanuts now compared to what it was.
Oh yeah, but I mean, for a player of Strand Larsen's quality, no, I would value him at maybe 15 to 20 at the most.
But I think Wolves have paid 25 million pounds for him permanently, so they're wanting that money back. So it was like, right.
I mean, yeah, you'd make a £5 million loss, but what's £5 million in this day and age of
Well,
football?
for them, it's a huge loss because because of the way their ownership at the moment is not wanting to invest as much. So it's been difficult for them, especially since the Chinese. There's been less of the Chinese ownership with football now in English football now. So.
And apparently, Sandro Tonali from Newcastle to Arsenal is a non-starter.
It's a non-starter. So
but
just got some news.
We all know there's still 7 hours left, so who knows what's.
Just got some news from Sani Hala from Sky Sports News. He's at Ellen Road, and this is from the Leeds perspective. We don't expect to make any late signings. I think it appears the Bonate from Brighton is going to be the only deal. We did bid, like I said, but at least we were unwilling to go above £40 million. There is questions that remains over the goalkeeper position because after there's been a bit of a wobble with Carl Dowler after he the 4-0 loss to Arsenal on Saturday, and because Lucas Perez is is going to get back and he had to be dropped out because due to his inconsistent performances. But there has been talks about Perez, who close to joining, was linked to remove to Turkey to Besiktas, but that deal's been scuppered. But like I said, you're surprised that Leeds had not wanted to get another player in, not spent 8 late signings because yes, we are closer to our PSR limits and as well. Do you think Leeds would, especially we said we were not going to increase our bidding?
I think it could be outgoings rather than incomings to balance your PSR stuff.
I don't think they will. I think we've done what we can now.
Like major players, I mean, like
Peru. I think Peru's going to stay now.
They could go to like League 1 or League 2 clubs in England, get some experience, and come back.
I think we've done that with Harry Gray, who started well. He started well at Rotherham. I think Joe Peru was going to be the one that thought could he go, but I don't think he will move to Rangers now. I think they're looking at other targets. I think he wants to fight his place at Leeds in the squad. I just think at the moment, deep down, in a way, I think like I said for JSL, we were not going to go crazy money against fighting a bidding war with Crystal Palace. We were not going to do that. Let Crystal Palace do that they want because. But as I said, they've only made one signing, which is a loan deal. But like I said, Farke doesn't like a large squad, so he
likes a squad he can manage. And fair play to him for that.
Absolutely, as well. Yeah. So
I'll give you another piece of Wrexham news.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
We've loaned our club legend, Mr. Mullen, to Bradford City for the remainder of the season to give him minutes.
Yeah, minutes. Yeah, that will be interesting as well. Just got some news coming from Watford, from the EFL from Watford. Watford are close to agreeing a deal for St Etienne defensive midfielder Pierre Ikora, who they are advanced talks with a loan move for the 24-year-old. Watford have rushed to get the deal done in time. In time for the deadline. Ikora joined the club from Sunderland last summer. So yeah,
I think if you ask me, the whole situation at Watford just now. I know that Annie said on the Championship review last night you couldn't really blame Watford for the whole situation, but surely there's a form of toxicity behind the scenes at the club, because we all know what the Potsels are like. If a manager loses 2, 3, 4 games or speaks out in even slightly the wrong way, boom, you're out the door. You can either be sacked or resigned. And I think Javi Grazi had done what was right for him. He jumped before he was forcibly pushed through the door by the Pozzos. I know that after Saturday's game against Swansea, there was unsavoury scenes at the end involving one of the Watford players having to be sort of marshalled off the pitch and down the tunnel because of that red card desertion in the game. So yeah, it's just, I think even though we're signing players today, and yes, they'll stay in the Championship, but I think this whole situation with the Pozzos sacking and letting go of managers left, right, and centre, it's just, how can you run a football club like that? You can't.
Yeah, it's been like that for a long time.
But you can't, if you get my drift.
Yeah, no, I get your drift as well. I do completely. Also, news from Everton today. They look like they're going to bring in Tyreek George from Chelsea on a loan deal, initial with the option to buy. Is this a low risk move for Everton to get this move, especially with the injury with Jack Grealish now, bringing Tyreek George, who was very good last season when I saw him play in the Europa Conference League last season for Chelsea? Do you think that's a good move for him to go to Hill Dixon, especially he has got that talent there that David Moyes craves for?
Mm-hmm. I've seen Tyreek George play for Chelsea this season, predominantly in the Club World Cup pre-season, and I thought he was very good in that, even though that tournament's a bit of a shit show, but I can't say any more on it. I just found it a bit meh. But I thought he was very good in the actual tournament itself. He's been okay when he's been called upon this season. So yeah, I think it's a good move for Tyreek George. He'll get minutes, and it's good cover for the injury to Jack Grealish.
Absolutely. Good morning, Reese. I know you can't join at the moment, but we'll see you.
Good morning, Reese boy.
We'll see you later. You better get yourself back to work dash back to work as well. So appreciate that, my friend. Listen, yeah, I just see some other news. So just look at some other news from all the other sources as well. We do expect to discuss for Falkirk. I'm just looking at the deal. They're going to sign Ben Brogo from Aston Villa, who's a winger.
Nice.
He's been in the academy and he's well thought. Yeah, he's well thought of by Unai Emery. He's only signed a new long-term contract. So it looks like he's going to be joining Falkirk. I think that would be a good deal because he looks like he could provide some depth and coverage for the both on sides of the Falkirk team as well. Let's keep an eye on what's been happening on other stuff. There was some interest from West Ham to try sign Spurs goalkeeper Anton Krinsky. He's been a backup at the moment since he joined a couple of seasons ago from Spurs last season before. But does it make any sense him to go from North London to East London?
Sorry, Cal, can you repeat that?
Yeah, sorry that you were distracted by the TV. I can see you keep an eye. I've just seen that one of the strange runners came to end, and West Ham showed interest in Anton Krinsky, the goalkeeper from Spurs. It didn't make no sense to have that deal happen, but
well, there's just breaking news on Spurs at the moment. Actually, I'm just trying to decipher what it is because I've got my telly on mute, and so we can do the podcast. So if you just bear with me, if you want to chat about something else, we can come back when it comes through.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll see what other news is going to happen as well, just to keep an eye. I know that. Okay, so Samuel Allen Jr. is poised to cut his loan. He's cut short his loan at West Brom. He's going to be joining Pisa in Serie A. They're going to spend the first half of the season at the Baggies, but after they're now in a situation at the moment after the Baggies did sack Ryan Mason to bring Eric Ramsey in. It looks like he's going to be going back to Italy to join Pisa, who are fighting in the relegation, who are in the second bottom of Serie A. He did play for Bologna, Juventus, and Bologna in Italy as well. The Baggies are now 21st points and the 3 points in the championship, both in the championship as well. Yeah, pretty much interested with that one. You see any breaking news that you can bring up now, Stefan?
We're still on Tottenham at the moment. If you just give me a second, my
sure thing. All right.
Haywire, here we go. What we're bringing up, we're saying we're just going through some deals in the World Leagues as well. Like I said, there's been no approach from Arsenal to Newcastle for Sandro Tonali. We all know about Jurgen Strand Larsen. He's completed his medical now, and they're just doing the final bits of that paperwork from Wolves. AC Milan, we all know about that one. Whether to say.
Well, I'll give you another deal that happened as well, and a good business for Fulham because I think they needed some reinforcements. They did sign Oscar Bob for Man City for around about £27 million. Oscar Bob was like
that is a cracking deal for the Norwegian boy, Oscar Bob.
Yeah, and I think he was have limited game time at City. What's the sign of Semenyo was coming in, and I think he knew he had to move away, and I think it's a good move for Fulham to get because they needed reinforcements. But they're not going to sign the US striker Ricardo Pepi from PSV because due to the valuation that was not meet as well. Do you expect Fulham to go back for him in the summer because that looks like that's going to happen?
Yeah, I think Marco Silva and Fulham would. If he's already a target, we'll go back in the summer from. I was just seeing something there. I'll need to wait until it comes around again.
Yep, I know. We are going to have such a hectic day with
it was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, we know about the Hayden Hackney stuff. Owen Elding, that's it. Owen Elding from Sligo Rovers to Hibs was undisclosed, so I don't know if he. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely as well.
And Hearts have also signed Roger Mato on initial loan with a view to making that permanent in the summer.
So that deal was already agreed he was going to join in the summer before the injury to Shankland and Shankland.
This is funny. I've just seen a Deadline Day question, and the Spurs fan says, "Do you think Spurs should make a bid for Omar Mamouche as it would lift Spurs at the table?"
I don't think it's a good move because they need someone to cover Haaland, and I think
exactly. Plus, his valuation is far too high for Spurs as well.
Absolutely. I just want to bring on something as well. I'm just trying to see there was
Wes Faz from Leicester to Monaco on loan for the end of the season. Phase Faz, however you want to pronounce it.
Well, Stefan, I want to ask you this as well, especially, last week Chelsea decided to agree mutual agreement with Raheem Sterling to terminate his contract at the moment, especially he was on 325 grand a week, completely. Could you see him joining the Premier League club by today? Because he said he wants to stay in London because of where his family is.
For family reasons, he wants to stay in London.
But do you think now that you might, with whatever club he goes to, he's not going to get this. He's going to have to, agree with what the contract is going to be given because he's now quite a lot now from his termination from Chelsea of the payoff that he's got. Do you see him either, signing with a Premier League club, or do you see him? I just don't see him going around you because I think with his qualities now declining.
He wants to stay in London, so either be a Premier League club or the high-flying Championship club, I would say.
I can't see a Championship club going for him. I don't think there'll be any Championship clubs in that division will be interested.
Bear in mind, though, he is a free agent and he's not affected by today.
So exactly, that's true.
He can take more time over his decision. So you've got West Ham, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, but he's already been there and didn't work out.
Yeah.
Who else have you got in London?
Spurs.
Nah. I mean, I could see him going to Crystal Palace for a shot.
If that's a good, I know that
for cover for the Strand Larsen hole. Not the Strand Larsen hole. Sorry, to work alongside Strand Larsen.
Well, that's a good question because what I want to see is especially because if he does sign with a club today,
Strand Larsen hole.
Well, the thing is, right? I look at this. I think because he might have to sign today because of the UEFA deadline of registering players if you want to make replacements. That could be the factor he might have to sign today. If not, then I just see him probably wait till after the transfer when the transfer goes. He still can sign a free agent. Yeah.
Bear in mind as well, Palace are still in Europe.
Yeah, that's true. They're still in Europe, but with their poor form, they could be could be one of the teams that could be surprisingly knocked out by.
I mean, come on, they got beat by National North Side League Macclesfield a few weeks ago, so anything could happen at Crystal Palace. As we know, they've had the heart of their team ripped out in Gahey and Strand Larsen. There's a potential move for Adam Wharton to potentially go to Man United probably in the summer, so that's somebody else that could potentially go in the summer transfer window. So when we do this in 100 days again, who knows?
I just wanted to ask you about United. I know you're not expecting any incomings at the moment. I know with Josh Zirkzee was linked to a move away, and I think there was one other player as well. I can't remember. But do you think because after Amron left the club at the start of January, do you think now that Zirkzee still has a chance, under Michael Carrick to really compete to get into that starting 11 along, you got Mbemo and Cunha, and Sesko, who scored a winner yesterday as well. Do you think Zirkzee still has a chance of role to play in that Man United squad?
Do you know, it wouldn't surprise me because I think Michael Carrick has given the squad such a lift, a fresh injection.
A bit more freedom from
of belief. The players are playing with a lot more freedom. We're getting the results, even if it takes 94 plus minutes to score the winning goal like yesterday. But that's 3 wins on the bounce now, so don't count Man U yet to finish in the top 2.
No,
or maybe even, possibly, it's a very, very long shot, but possibly top of the tree if we keep playing the way we're playing.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Yeah,
there's nothing to say we can't because we've beaten Man City, Arsenal, and Fulham in consecutive weeks.
Absolutely. Also, one news from Man United. I know there was outgoing as well. Jacob Devaney, who's going to be joining St. Mirren on loan as well. He has been really good for the 21s this season for Man United. Is that a good move for St. Mirren as well? Especially they want to get some depth in that midfield area.
For who, sorry, Carl?
Jacob Devaney, the under 21s captain for Man United.
I believe so. I mean, I can't really comment because I've not seen him play, but that would be a good move for St. Mirren, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. As well. I'm just seeing what
there was news there from Wrexham about a Barnsley player. Can you?
Yeah, I have got that as well. Yeah, so Barnsley are in talks with Wrexham to try to get a deal for to sell Davis Keller done before tonight's deadline. We know that talks have been progressing over the last 24 hours. Bristol keen in the player.
Oh yeah.
if Wrexham can sign a striker today, it will pave the way for Ryan Hardy to depart with Bolton exploring a potential loan deal at the end of the season. So the most EFL goals scored from the start of 2023-24 to present, Killer Dunn has scored 53 goals since then. Alfie May is second.
Ooh. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Ryan Hardy. I do like you, mean a Scot and all. But if you want to go to Bolton, pal, and we can get a cure done, you go with my absolute blessing, my friend, to Bolton. Get your career back on track, because I know it's not worked out for you in Wrexham sort at all, really, since you came in the sort of back end of 2024.
Yeah.
It's not worked for them at all, unfortunately. I think with a front line of Keir Dunn, Kiefer Moore, oh my God, it's going to rip the league.
I don't get too excited. I know it's still a long way to go in the Championship playoffs. I don't know what's going on with Coventry. They're having a bit of a wobble, so it's still up to play.
A bit of a wobble, a bit.
Absolutely. Listen, we're going into the last.
It's only on goal difference now, my friend.
I know it's only on goal difference. I know it is. And listen, it's all to play for. Like I've been saying to my supporting person at work, he thought Hearts were going to lose to Dundee United on Saturday as
no.
a fan, and I told him that it's still all to play for. So don't think we're not going to bottle the league yet. Yeah. It's still all to play for. So yeah, I told him.
Axel decided to undergo medical with West Ham.
Yeah,
I had one move from Chelsea this morning. That's probably happening right now.
Yeah, I said this one. So I mentioned at the start as well. That should be done by the mid afternoon.
Mamadou Sarr is returning to Chelsea after Strasbourg was
cut short.
Cut short. Yeah. It's difficult when you've got the TV on mute because you can't hear a word they're saying. You're just having to second guess. I'm guessing with Vinny O'Connor, it's news about their new £60 million acquisition.
Yeah, I think, look, this is, I've just got the quotes for what he said, actually. He was just talking about Liverpool have learned the lesson from Gray, so I will just read this out, actually. In some ways, it's a deal that works all around, apart from Liverpool fans who want a centre-back. Now, the deal worth £55 million plus £5 million add-ons will effectively go through at the start of the summer. It's a similar deal to one that brought Georgie Mamadashvili through the door. Ren are challenging for you at the moment. They don't want to lose a player capability of Jack at this juncture. They'll be able to fend from other clubs, most notably Chelsea, that now got the deal lined up. You can look at this, so you can look at maybe as a lesson learned from the situation. They found themselves from Matt Gray in the summer. He's due for medical today, but Liverpool have no time constraints. It won't be officially announced today, but he is by all intents and purposes a Liverpool player.
Yeah, and see, I find it bad when you buy somebody for 60, 70 million pounds and you straight away loan them back to the club they're already at. It's why?
Well, I don't think it's not. So this is not a loan. So there's no loan involved. It's a verbal agreement has been agreed for the summer. So
he can just finish the season. Is that it?
Yeah. So he can finish. So he's still a Ren player permanently, and I think because now the deal's agreed for the summer instead of now, it's not a loan. Yeah. It's not a loan back to the club. So this is why Liverpool decided to just let him continue to be a Ren player and do all documentation.
Jamal Lascelles is having talks with Leicester about a possible move, potentially undergoing a medical today.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. I mentioned that one of the free transfer players that was going to join Leicester alongside
Newcastle fans will be a bit upset because he's been with the club for years. He's led them through promotion from Championship to Premier League. And
listen, absolutely. But I think with Newcastle, I think at some point they were going to, at some point with the ownership they have now, the players that had at the time, there was always going to be a slow transition for players like Lascelles, who's still going to be at the club until now. And I think he's not going to have much, playing time at St James's Park. So I think this is the best move for all clubs as well. So, but I have been hearing from looking at Crystal Palace from Sky Sports News. Palace are still open to remain signing a centre back in deadline.
Yeah, that just came up.
But they have been can reveal that Ruben Cliver, this brother of Justin and son of Patrick Cliver, that Palace have been inquired about, but the club feel that they're unable to sign it for a reasonable price. Ethan Pinnett from Brentford has also been one of the number of names that's been considered in this window as well.
Right, Yaha Desri has completed a permanent deal from Chelsea to AC Milan. Must be a youth player. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Celtic have got a loan deal for Junior Amadou from Freiburg. Now, when you think of all the money they've got in the bank from the Matt O'Reilly transfer to Brighton and the potential money that we could have had if they'd sold Arne Ingles to Nottingham Forest, but that might not be off the table. We might come back with another bid. I don't know why Celtic aren't buying the player permanently.
I don't know. That deal could be a bit of a difficult one with that one. It could be difficult.
I mean, it could come down to PSR and the European involvement, but
I think Forest are fine with the PSR. I don't think they care about the PSR. I think Celtic is the one.
I mean, the Freiburg one, I don't understand why it's a loan deal.
I think it's a loan deal because they want to see if the player is good enough, especially if it's who else. If Matt O'Neill's is not going to be in charge beyond next summer.
I get that, but that's the thing that annoys me with the Scottish football transfer market. Teams like to try before you buy, as I say, and it really pees me off because if you've got the money and you're scouting the player, he's obviously good enough to come to the club. So why not just buy him permanently?
Well, I understand that, but sometimes you try before you buy because you don't know if the player fits into the model of what you expect to the player. But I've just got some news from Vinny O'Connor and Rob Dorset for Sky Sports News. This revolves with Nathan Patterson at Everton. Genoa are trying to sign their Everton right back, but is dependent on Brook North and Cuffy to join the club as well. Inter Milan tried to sign him as well as Juventus, but a deal was yet to materialize. Everton will also be one of the clubs as interested in North and
Helens Verona have sacked their head coach Paolo Zanetti with the club bottom in Serie A.
Well, that's especially Kieran Bowie just made a big move.
Bowie for £7 million as well.
Yeah, that's interesting as well. Yeah, so it looks like Nathan Cuffy, not on Cuffy, but could be wants to join Everton, but Nathan it depends if Nathan Patterson wants. It depends on not wants to leave the Italian club, but. The one source have told us that the under 21 right back, the England under 21 right back, is more likely to stay in Italy as things stand. So Everton and Luca trying to make get one outgoing, but one incoming as well, another incoming as well. So yeah, that's some news that's come through the last couple of minutes as well. But
I'm not going to lie, this is like Christmas Day for me all over again. I love the buzz around deadline day.
Can I ask you something? You just made the point of about the Scottish clubs do the try before you buy stuff. Do you think it's a low? It's a low. You look at thinking should they just take the bullet and buy it, especially if the player doesn't. Yeah. They will expect a loss, but just your perspective because you've been watching the Scottish game longer than me. Why do you think, in a way, it's why clubs like Celtic and Rangers do the loan deals before making it permanent? Why do you think they do that? Because of the factors?
I mean, it could be a number of factors. We all know the Scottish League isn't the richest league in the world by far, not compared to our counterparts south of the border. They eclipse us on everything. But I think it's just because the clubs are tight. We don't want to spend any of that money. I mean, it's like me.
What money do you have? Exactly. Well,
when I open my wallet, guys, moths come flying out of it, right? Carl knows because I've taken them for lunch. So it's like me, when I open my wallet, moths come out. I think when Rangers open the wallet after everything has happened over the last decade or so, moths definitely come out with their wallet. But in regards to Celtic, I don't understand why they don't just bite the bullet and sign players. We've got money from the Matt O'Reilly signing. We could potentially have money coming from Aaron Engels if we choose to sell him today. I don't get why a big club like Celtic or Rangers or Hearts. Well, all right, I get Hearts situation.
Cut Hearts out of it because at least we've done permanent deals, okay?
But Celtic and Rangers and even Hibs to an extent, I don't get why we all go for one deals and then 6 months later the players depart back to their original clubs, never to be seen again. 99.99% of the bloody time.
Well, I'm just looking at it because Celtic made some 2 loan deals because they signed Julian Herrera from Bournemouth on the loan deal as
You want
well.
to try that again? You want to see that again?
Oh, Julian Herrera from Bournemouth on a
don't worry,
deal.
I can't pronounce his name either.
Listen, I'm dyslexic, so I have my reasons, okay?
I'm tongue tied as well, mate. I had it cut, but I'm still tongue tied. Seriously?
Yeah. Fair enough. I believe you. I don't know why I was laughing at it, but I just did. So that's fair. Fair enough. I just showed you the tongue today. I see. Yeah.
See, we can still have a laugh during our deadline day coverage as well, guys.
I know. Well, especially like I said, Celtic. Especially because they did make some big signings for Benjamin Negren as well in the summer and stuff. And then some of the players the players that they did sign have gone back out, gone on loan. So if Celtic not taking the risk of signing players permanently, then there must be especially if they want to challenge
It's
Rangers.
not for PSR reasons. The only thing I can think of, it has to be. There's no other physical reason. Because Martin O'Neill wouldn't say get him into the club if he wasn't good enough. Martin O'Neill's 73. He's been around football more times than I've had hot dinners, mate.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So if it's good enough for Martin O'Neill, buy him bloody permanently, even though he's not going to be there next season as far as we know. Okay, here's one for you, Cal. A bit left field, but when Martin O'Neill finally does depart Celtic, who do you think? Now, I've got my own ideas, but who do you think is going to be the next Celtic head coach / manager, whatever way you want to put it, who do you think is going to be?
Well, I'll give you one of the names. I wouldn't be surprised if it could be Sean Maloney takes over in the summer.
No.
Oh, this is the left field. They go for the manager that were linked before he got the sack at Club Brugge, Nicky Hayden, who got the sack at Club Brugge before he was linked with the club. Those are the only 2 names, but I just have a feeling it's going to be Sean Maloney.
Oh God, no. No, you did not trust me. Speaking from personal experience, you do not. No, you don't want Sean Maloney in charge of your club, even if it was for like 6 months. You don't want him in charge. I think it's going to be Robbie Keane.
It would be interesting if he leaves Fenerbahce. I was thinking about him as well. Yeah.
Because he's got the Celtic connection. If Martin O'Neill's having a hand in picking his successor, which you should, then there's no reason why not. It couldn't be Robbie Keane. I think he would do a great job at Celtic.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be Robbie Keane. I think it's interesting because of some blown out news that he's linked to replace Thomas Frank at Tottenham. It would not be surprising if Robbie Keane makes that move up to Parkhead. You know, if he does leave Fenerbahce, because he's done a really good job, and I'm just thinking because he's been at the club since
they were undefeated in the Conference League until Palace beating 4-0 the other night.
Yeah, that's
sorry, not Palace, Nottingham Forest. Sorry,
Nottingham Forest, yeah. It will be interesting if he does because he's been at Fenerbahce for at least a year and a month now. So, and I think it'd be interesting because I think his contract is. I think he did because I don't know what his contract is. You know, I think his contract was renewed just at the start of the mid-December. So it'll be interesting if there's a release clause in there. That Celtic do Celtic want to go through that scenario again where they went for Wolf and Nancy, but they had to wait for that deal.
God!
Yeah.
Did we have to mention those 33 days of laughter for us, but terror for Celtic fans?
We have to. We have no choice. What choice do we have?
Wilfred Nancy, please come back to Scottish football.
Yeah, so he said he did declare a contract extension. They didn't say how long the length was going to be. So that was the thing. So we don't know how his contract length is, what he's got at the moment at Fenerbahce. We don't know. I have a feeling there will be a release clause in there, but I don't think there's such a one to just take the bullet and pay for it,
With it being Fenerbahce and Hungary, I don't think it'll be much of a release clause, to be honest.
I would say it'd be more.
I'd say maybe about 5 mil.
5, yeah. I would say I was thinking they're roughly around that part, yeah.
Because that was when Kieran McKenna was linked with the Celtic job back in the summer. That was Ipswich's release clause was 5 mil. I would have paid that straight away. I would just take the board, pay it, and get him in.
Yeah, a bit interested with that one.
Because he's a more proven manager than you know who. Voldemort.
Yeah, that's true.
He came in with this magic wand and it all went wrong.
Aye, absolutely as well. Just seen on the news from Nick Mashita from BBC Sport Football News from BBC Sport. That Wolves are still waiting Torino response for Scottish striker Che Adams after the Wolves made an €8 million offer for Che Adams last week. But the do you see him? I think that's why they've gone for Adam Armstrong if Che Adams doesn't join Wolves, so.
I can see that because they played together at Southampton and their partnership was very successful at Southampton, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But since she's gone to Torino and the Scottish invasion has happened in Italy, let's be honest, could I see him leaving a Serie A club for an English, well, let's be honest, Championship club from next season? Potentially. I mean, don't rule out a deadline day surprise, guys. And this could be it.
But I can't see Torino letting him go, especially with, because he did score last night against Lecce.
Would have to pay a hefty fee, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know if Adams is going in his last year of his contract.
Unless it's a loan with an obligation to buy.
No, this is a permanent deal. A
permanent deal, so it's not a loan. So is there a reported fee?
The reported fee was €8 million, but I think Torino, if Torino wants to let him go, they want more because he did join a free contract.
They probably want at least 20 to 25 million euros.
I would say a little bit less than that, about 15 million euros at least.
Well, we'll say euros 50 million, so we'll say 18 million pounds.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
If we convert it roughly 18 million pounds. I could see that happening actually, to be fair.
If they get through the double deadline, because I'm just looking at
we could have really done with is our Italian football expert on right now, but he's working, so
we'll get his take
until he arrives.
We'll get his take later on tonight with that one because that will be interesting. I'm just seeing because because of this, because looking at the season with their season at the moment, Taria, because they're 13th at the moment in the table. So
Okay, just heard as far as film is concerned, the deal for Pepe is off.
that's why I was saying Pepe from Fulham was off. So yeah, so that's what we are. That's what I was talking about.
Breaking from the training ground right now, it's off. As far as we know it, but there is still 6 hours, 39 minutes, and 35
I
seconds left.
yeah,
you never know.
I think PSV would not be reluctant because PSV are top of the table. I think they're more than 15 points ahead of the nearest rivals in the division. And I don't think they want up to sell him because I think especially it's the World Cup year. And I think Pepe will be in that US team squad because that's why I don't think he would move to Fulham at this moment in time until the summer. Especially there's a reason why who just left Norwich as well. Josh Sargent, he's gone back to the US to join Toronto for family reasons. So I just don't see Richard Pepe to join Fulham at this moment. It depends on the valuation. So it's going to be an interesting battle with that one as well. But I do know that Rangers are still in talks with Ryan Deary from Hasse Rostock, the German third division club, but they want to keep the 20 until the end of the season. So, but we have been told that the player wants to move to Ironbox. He's in the UK at the moment for a medical. Should the transfer will be agreed between the two clubs. If this transfer does happen, Stefan, Hansen will land the highest fee paid for a player in the German third division.
It would be astonishing. Apparently, Nottingham Forest are considering a move for Dwight McNeil as well, but it depends. It all depends whether Everton can find a replacement for McNeil before tonight.
I think it will be Tyreek George coming in. I think that will be the replacement. Would be if that does happen. So probably because I don't think Everton will want to make any permanent deals. I think the loan deal for Tyreek George, and especially getting on a permanent deal, will be good for him and the club as well.
Brentford youth player Frank Onya has agreed to sign for Coventry on loan for the remainder of the season.
Yep, he mentioned that earlier as well, that he's going to be joining on a loan with obligation to buy should Coventry get promoted from the Premier League.
Still looks highly likely, let's be honest.
Yeah, it will be highly likely. It will be. Like
don't agree on deal for Crystal Palace winger Jursen Rake Seki on loan till the end of the season. I'm probably
Raksaki, yeah.
I'm probably butchered that, but you know who I mean.
I know, because it's the player that Leeds were linked with last season before he went to Sheffield United. I think that would be a good deal for Stoke, for him to go to Stoke.
Here's one for our friend Annie. Bristol City are attempting to sign Sturm Graz midfielder Tom Huvak before the end of the transfer window.
Yeah, so Toby Huvak should be hopefully agreed.
So that might make Annie a wee bit happy compared to...
Well, especially after that disappointing loss they had against Derby on Friday. That was embarrassing to see that result.
He was, I think he was there.
Yeah, I know he was there. I had a feeling he was going to be like that game because like I said, I think I don't think he's back at uni yet. So yeah.
And apparently, if you've got him on YouTube, Carl, he's done a video. I'm yet to see it, but Michael says it's very good.
I know. I've got him on. I follow him on his channel, so I do need to watch his.
Yeah, I'll need to do that too, actually.
Yeah. So, but nothing much. It's been quiet at the moment, and So
I mean, let's be honest. Compared to the summer transfer window, January is always a wee bit quiet. I always think. But in the summer, when we do this again in 100 days or whatever it is from now, activity will be ramped up because it will be a longer window. I think it'll be the full 15 hours rather than 12 hours in the summer.
Yeah, we'll see. I think I don't know if Deadline Day closes now at 11 o'clock in the summer window. I have to look at that, but I think it still does. But I think it might go to 7. I think it's at 7 now going forward.
It's a weird one because I'll give you the closers for January. So 7 o'clock windows are England, Italy, France, Germany.
Yeah.
Scotland is its traditional 11 p.m. slot. In Spain, get this one.
10:59 p.m.
10:59. Why we don't just say 11 o'clock, I do not know. But it is 10.
Let me find out that reason for that, because that is quite interesting.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
I know. So
I mean, what difference is a minute going to make?
Well, do you know why? So anything like screws up when they're trying to get the deadline at 10:59 and it closes so late, you're like, oh yeah.
But don't forget, guys, if two clubs have a deal ongoing, they can submit what's called a deal sheet. It needs to be signed by both clubs, the player in question, then ratified by the corresponding leagues, and it gives the clubs an extra 2 hours to complete the deal. So even after the deadline this evening, when Reese comes on, deals will still be going through, deals will still be getting completed. But what is the reason for this, Carl, of this 10:59 saga in Spain?
I don't know. I'm trying to find a reason for that. I don't know. It's a good question. I think. Do you know why? Because of their time is around midnight, because they're an hour ahead of us.
I get that, man. I totally get that. But come on.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Like, it's not even like 10 minutes of a difference. It's like 60 seconds of a.
Well, I think the problem is because I think the problem is why, and the problem is maybe the reason why is someone tries to get the deal in at midnight, and when it shuts, they got in 10 seconds or so later. That could be the reason why. Because remember what happened with that Leicester deal? I think it was Adrian Silva. Years ago,
10 seconds over the deadline.
Yeah, it was 10 seconds over the deadline, and FIFA couldn't rectify it. So that's why I think that maybe I don't know. I'd like to speak to a Spanish football expert at some point about that. Why is it 10?
I tell you what, Carl, we'll just get Guillaume Ballagate on the phone from Sky Sports, yeah?
Well, yeah, we'll have to try to reach out to him at some point later in life.
But all right, Carl. Over the last decade or so, give me your top deadline day signing. It could be a surprise. It could be a last minute deal. It could be anything over the last 10 years. I'll give you mine. Mine is a cracker.
Go on.
No, you give me yours first.
I need to think that one over. I need to think this one over.
You need to think over. I'll give you mine. Mine is the Peter Ogdenwingy saga.
That was what I was thinking about. Yeah.
West Brom to QPR, when he rocked up to QPR in his car, driving himself, by the way.
Yeah.
He rocked up to QPR. There was fans all around his car. Sky Sports were there because everybody thought the move was happening. But the security guard wouldn't let Peter Ogdenwingy into QPR because there was no agreement between the two clubs. So he was turned away with his tail between his legs and had to drive back to West Brom.
Yeah, I know. I remember that deal so well.
Talk about forcing them move through, but do you have any, Carl?
I would say that's a good question. Actually, the best deal, I have to say, the two Liverpool, getting Luis Suarez and Andy Carroll in, and I think the latter one with Luis Suarez, the first, was more successful. So. Especially playing under Kenny Dalglish as well. I think Luis Suarez is one of them.
There's news coming from Scotland.
All right. Well, will he give us that news in a short way then to let us know what that news is coming through?
today. So much so, we understand the players travel to the UK so that he's in the right place if a deal.
That was a player I was just mentioning about to you.
Just across Glasgow striker Junior Adamu on loan from
Junior Adamu, yeah.
The deal that Celtic are trying to get done, as well as Lorient winger Joe Vacu, a £3 million deal. So that one.
A £3 million deal for Lorient winger Joe Vacu to Celtic.
So Celtic look like they are going to get some permanent players then, by the sounds of it. Then, so
but at least one potentially.
Yeah, at least one potentially. Just keep an eye on just some news from Sky Italia as well. Juventus are keeping an eye on AC Milan's deal for John Philippe Mateta. If Milan don't proceed with the transfer, Juventus could make a fresh attempt to sign Mateta on loan with an option to buy. So
this season, so what the move would be for James Wilson, and finally St Mirren trying to finalise a loan move for Man United under 21 captain Jacob Devane.
Nothing we've already talked about. Unfortunately, guys, no fresh breaking news from Northern Border here in Scotland.
Yeah, just seen. Yeah, so like I said, Chelsea letting a number of academy players leaving today, like we talked about. So Idrisi's joined AC Milan's academy. We expect further departures with Yumi Tara and Sam Ratsaki could leave as well. And to Ampar to join Stoke City, Harry McGeegley to join Sheffield United, and Frankie Roque has joined Ipswich Town on loan as well. So looks like from what I've been hearing that Che Adams he's going to reject the move to Molineux to move from Torino. So yeah, it looks like he's going to reject the move.
Right, guys, feel free to comment on this one. Okay, now we all know for us watching Deadline Day is a great spectacle. I love it. It's like Christmas Day for me. I don't know how Carl feels. But if you were a manager of said club or any club and you had to go through the Deadline Day, how would you feel? How would you be feeling right now if you were the manager of Leeds, Cal or Hearts, just say, and you had to go through Deadline Day? Likewise with me, with Hibs, United, or I'm not going to say Wrexham, I'm going to leave that to Parky because he's doing such a good job. But how would you guys feel if you had to go through Deadline Day as a participant rather than a viewer?
Okay, for me, if I'm a manager of Leeds, it's a distraction because you're trying to get through, to look at the post-match review or what happened at the last game. You're trying to think,
is that a good distraction or is it a bad distraction?
It's going to be a bit of both, I would say. So it'll be a bit of both with that one. And yeah, it depends. It really, it varies with that one. So I don't know about you.
For me, I think my stress levels will be through the roof.
Yeah.
In particular, not so much without going, because you already have your list of who you're going to let go, but with the incomings that you want to bring into the club, because if one falls through, then there's that domino effect. Can you find a replacement for the replacement in time? You've only got just over 6 hours left. You're going to struggle. So I think my stress levels would be through the roof. As fun as it is, I think I would turn my phone off after the first hour. I would just make myself incognito and incontactable by anybody. I'd be sitting holed up in a room thinking, don't sell him, don't sell him, don't sell him. Because if you do, our season's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've just got some news from the BBC website from Paul McDonough, who actually is from footballtransfers.com, and he's got the reason why Jeremy Jacquet move is being pushed to the summer. It was not just for game time, but also for financial reasons because of the Premier League and moving into the new SCR squad cost ratio rules, which places PSR. Because Liverpool spent heavily last summer, they want to keep their spending in line with the new regulations. So that's one of the main reasons why that deal is going to be held, is also for financial reasons because of the new SCR ratio that's coming in the summer. So that's why that signing is going to be allowed. Is going to be in line with the new regulation. So yes. Yeah. So pretty much, but. Talking about Man United, I know because there's not been a lot of outgoings, but I know it's not a lot of incomings. But you expect it because your midfield does need a reinvestment, and I know you was linked with for Brighton, Carlos Balbena as well, and other players as well.
I asked Reece this on Saturday morning, and if Reece was the manager at Man United, he said he would completely overhaul the midfield and build it around Kobe Manu.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right thing to do.
And I get his point. I totally get his point. We'll get more from on Reece when he joins us later on in the broadcast.
Well, that's good because we'll have another guest that will be joining us tonight, and it will be our very own Mr. Douglas Horne. He'll be joining us tonight.
I will be back on after my work as well, guys. Don't worry, I'm nipping out for a few hours. But as Carl knows, I'm coming back around 8:20, I think, tonight.
Yeah, that's fine. And Doug will be joining me later on today as well. We'll get his stuff in the local perspective as well. So we'll have a combination or a mixture around of our clubs as well. So Doug will be joining us later on tonight as well too. So yeah, I just not much is going through. It's a little bit quieter now, but like I said, the big key news is that that we expected, with the situation at Crystal Palace, will John Philippe Mateta be an AC Milan player, despite Jorgen Strand Larsen look like he's going to join. All his paperwork is nearly done now. So
I think between 6 and 7 o'clock tonight is when it'll get really busy.
Yeah, we'll expect there's going to be a lot of busy as well. We'll get really busy as well. Looking at some of the other clubs as well across the Premier League. And the one team I want to look at is, especially we spoke about Arsenal, Man United, and Man City already, Liverpool. Let's look at Tottenham Hotspur, for example. They signed Brennan Johnson they sold Brennan Johnson for Crystal Palace for a big fee, and also they got Callum Gallagher from Atletico Madrid for £30 You surprised they're not done much more in the business to try to the injuries they have at the moment, long term.
Yeah, because they need to be busy today. Thomas Frank said yesterday in his press conference, post-match, they were going to be active. Now, what are we? We are 6 hours plus into the window now. We've not heard one iota coming from Tottenham at all. So what are we going to do? Leave it to the last couple of hours and panic buy?
Well, it's interesting with that one because I think because of Spurs, this is their first window without Daniel Levy in that he left the club after the last summer, and I know bringing Conor Gallagher helps in midfield, but I just look at the weakness up front with especially with Kulusevski and James Madison still out at the moment, and Solanke's just come back from his injury.
100%.
So, do you think we do expect that Thomas Frank last night we are active, so we'll wait because they don't want anybody go.
They have to be active regardless of whether Thomas Frank's going to make it to the end of the season or not. Personally, I don't think he is, but that's a story for another day. Fact is, we need to be active to sustain any sort of hope of climbing the table. I'm not going to put an estimate on where we're going to finish, but the position they're in right now, for being as big a club as they are, is disgusting.
Yeah, listen, Spurs are going through a lot of changes, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well, with the new board members and stuff. So this transition was always going to be very, very, prolonged as well, especially with Daniel Levy being at the club for so long, you know, and vice versa. And I know the fans were frustrated, you know, especially they've not done much business in the January transfer window. Yes, they bought Conor Gallagher in, which is a good deal, but I expected a little bit more. We'll see. We'll wait, see how it goes today as well. And just look at other clubs. Look at Newcastle. Newcastle not done much incomings. Are you surprised that they've really not made any incomings as well? Especially the midfield needs a bit of strength as well, and especially they need up front to, you know, especially with Wissa and Wissa is going to get to his first, and also Osula. He's still a young player with Voltemade. Do you think Newcastle have missed a few chances in the transfer window?
Yeah, I mean, I know last summer the whole thing was we've bid for Ekitike twice. He went to Liverpool, and it just so happened that on Saturday night against Liverpool, Ekitike scored twice. And you could see Eddie Howe was spitting favours because he was thinking, imagine how good he would have been in a Newcastle shirt. But Newcastle have definitely missed the boat. I think they've left it too late now to get anybody of noticeable pedigree like Voltemade, your Wissers, into the club. They aren't in the best league position for them. Yeah, we're doing okay, but they could have been a lot higher if results had gone their way. But that's because it's twofold, because they've had a lot of injuries this season.
Yeah.
And they've had the European journey as well. So when you're travelling and then playing away, when you're travelling back, you're getting like 2 days rest, then you're playing on the Sunday. So it's a busy schedule. And I think quite a lot of fans don't take that into account. They just think, oh, we're having a rubbish season. But bear in mind, if you're in Europe, unless you're the likes of Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, you've got the resources to cope with such busy schedules. The likes of your Newcastles, your Spurs, your Crystal Palaces, your Nottingham Forest, you are going to struggle.
Yeah.
And in January, we've definitely missed the boat of getting an improvement. It's not to say that we've not been trying, because I know they have. I know Eddie Howe always works his butt off in the transfer windows, but he's just not had the luck in January of getting players in. So again, for Newcastle, it might be more fringe outgoings rather than big incomings today, which is sad to say, because Newcastle are a Premiership club, but definitely not a Championship club. Even though in my lifetime, we've been down in the Championship twice, and they've absolutely stormed it with over 100 points. But yeah, it's a shame.
It's a shame. Also, here was some news from Aston Villa from the BBC. Harvey Elliott is now expected to stay at Aston Villa. He's now 3 appearances away from triggering a transfer worth £35 million after joining.
That's a surprise, because Aston Villa said they were not going to give him the required amount of appearances, so they didn't have to pay the fee because of PSL, I think.
Yeah. So now, what's the change now? Because he did came on Sunday after yesterday's.
I think the change is because John McGinn's out with quite a lengthy injury.
Yuri Tielemans out with Bubba Kamara.
So I think Unai Emery's had to reevaluate his decision and say, Nafa, if he's good enough, we'll pay the fee. We'll keep him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big of a change, because we thought, he's only moved because he couldn't go back to Liverpool because he played Liverpool already, because he couldn't play. So the only move he could have done, he could have gone to the US in the MLS, but I don't think it was viable.
If he's only 3 appearances away, it's a long time between now and the end of May.
Yeah, it is. It is a long way. So
I reckon he's going to get those 3 appearances, and they're going to have to buy him outright.
Yeah, They will. I think they have no choice now. Listen, I don't know why that for Villa's sake, you could have done an option to buy, not an obligation to buy. I know Harry wanted to leave Liverpool to get game time, which I really understood that. But like I said, I think because there's loads of stuff what's been going on at Liverpool, and especially there's one deal that could happen today, and it was reported by some resources that Curtis Jones could leave Liverpool to join Inter Milan. And here's the thing, Stefan, Curtis Jones is the last Scouser in that Liverpool team at this moment. If he goes, it's the first time there's no Scouser team at Liverpool.
Wait, ever? I mean, Carragher's on TV right now, so I think if Carragher heard that, he'd be fuming.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think I agree that they should sign another defender for today. I've just seen his quotes on that one. They should sign another defender today. Because, like I said, you got, Gianni Vialoni got injured last summer. On his debut against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. So, it's so much, But as I said, if Curtis Jones does leave, it's a huge surprise. It'd be a huge surprise.
I mean, did you say if he leaves, Liverpool's technically not Liverpool because there's no Scousers.
Yeah.
Unless you drop down to under 21s or under 18 level.
No, there's none at the moment. The players the only player that
not even at that level.
No, not even that level. The only player that I think is the only Scouser, he's on loan. He's Jaden Dan's, Neil Dan's son. He's on loan at one of the clubs in the EFL, and he's the one that is the only Scouser that I can think of. Anyone else? Yeah. I had to do my research on the past weekend, to see if there was any other Scousers in that team. And I couldn't see none of them that was like,
no, like standouts,
No standouts, no, absolutely no. Actually, just got some news from Keith Downey from Sky Sports that Sunderland are in talks with Monaco with a loan deal for Simon Adingra, who actually, he did join Sunderland last summer, and he expected to agree deal with Monaco until the summer of options to make it permanent. Sunderland will net a 7-figure loan fee from the deal. Adingra was signed for £21 million and only just scored one goal for Sunderland. You surprised that even though Simon Adingra made that big move from Brighton last summer to Sunderland and it's not been working out well, and he's got a talks to go to Monaco? Do you think for him to go to France and loan will help him and get Sunderland that profit with his sustainability? Well, they got loads of PSI headroom, so that's a good thing. But do you think for him to go alone will be good for him because he's not a lot of game time?
Aye, definitely 100%. Go on loan, get yourself some minutes, get yourself some game time. See if you can impress. If you can, by all means, make him permanent. If not, come back to your parent club and impress there. But I think Sunderland have done it very smart. When they came up from the Championship, they won the playoffs. Now, normally the team that wins the playoffs doesn't spend a lot of their playoff money. And they keep the majority of the squad. And they just sort of survive in the Premier League. But Sunderland broke the mold. They spent all their money. And they're surviving and then some. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They are surviving it quite well. Yeah, it's decided to go. He's only had 14 appearances for Sunderland since he joined from Brighton this summer. So this will be a big move for him because he's only scored one goal in the Premier League this season as well. So that was in the 1-1 draw against Leeds United as well. So yeah. And he wasn't even in the squad for Ivory Coast as well for the African Cup of Nations, and I think that was a big disappointment for him that he missed out on the squad. For Ivory Coast as well. So so that will be interesting to keep an eye on if that loan deal gets done by 7 p.m. tonight as well. Oh, got some stuff from Neil Walker actually. Bailey Cannavacci is due at Wrexham, so that's some news for you, Stefan.
Oh, yeah. Deadline day is proven to be rather fruitful, or rather, deadline day weekend is proven to be rather fruitful for the championship clubs.
Yep, absolutely as well. So, yeah, it's like I said, thank you for everyone who's watching this. Please message in and as also give me your questions as well. We'll love to.
Service between your friends, please, as well, so we can get them involved too.
Absolutely as well. Yep, absolutely as well too. Just keep an eye on some other. Nothing much going. Anyway, at the moment, across the transfer window at the moment, but Paul Taylor, the not first correspondent from the Athletic, that first expects to fall short for Anna Ingles' pursuit. That looks like Matt said the club will not sell for anything less than £100 million. So.
He's not a £100 million player. No way.
No.
That is laughable. I'm sorry. That is the comedy moment of the transfer window so far.
Yeah, I know. It is.
£100 million. Come on, Celtic. You're in dreamland there.
They're in cuckoo land.
Most definitely in cuckoo land.
Yeah.
If they got £100 million, just say, what would they do with it?
They fucking waste it so badly. That's how I see it.
I see them doing nothing with £100 million, just sitting there in the bank.
Yeah, I know. They're just, yeah, and then all the fans were pissed off again with another protest, and yeah,
Sag the board.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely as well. Yeah, so not much going on, but I've just got some reports from the women's football side of things. Stefan, that Katie McCabe is likely to leave Arsenal in the summer after being at the club for 10 years as well. Tom Gary, for the guy, he said there's not a new deal on the table, so the club want to refresh the squad. So it looks like she's going to go as well.
I can understand that move, if there's no one to refresh the squad, because they are pushing for the WSL title. I can totally understand that move. Kate McCabe has been a great servant for Arsenal. I think she might even come up to Scotland to finish off her career. That'd be nice.
That would be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that as well, because the women, the WSL transfer deadline date doesn't go till tomorrow.
The SWPL, but there's not a lot of transfer movement in the SWPL, or nothing to write home about if there is, because it's not even on breaking news outlets anywhere. I think now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the SWPL transfer window is slightly longer than in the English one.
England's transfer deadline. Because the WSL's transfer deadline closes tomorrow at 11 p.m. Yeah.
What's the Scottish one? Girls, and you've got it.
I'll have a look and find the Scottish. Yeah, give me a second.
I'm going to have a look to see if there's been. I'm going to Google SWPL transfers.
So they will close. Let's see. Just trying to find it.
Transfer window 2026.
You got it.
Yeah. Let's just key dates. Just have a note right now. Accept all. This is coming from the official SWPL website.
I thought it was going to be either this week or next week, but might be wrong.
I can give you a rundown of some of the transfers that have happened in the Scottish Women's League, club by club. So Aberdeen have brought in Laura Holden from Cheltenham Town, Hannah Inseach from Perth Red Star City FC, and Faye Kirby from Liverpool on loan. That is a surprise.
Okay, I've just got some news about Sammy Markable from BBC Sports Senior Football Correspondent. There is going to be there is a loan deal for James Wilson with a view to a permanent signing. So what we expect is expecting he will compete for a spot within Arsenal's under 21 side. He is not considered a first team signing.
Is it? Wait a minute. Is this 2026? No, this is old. This is old news. Hold on. This is old.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find anything on that as well.
I can tell it's old by reading some of the players. Nah, this is old news.
It's old news. Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely old news.
Yeah, I don't see. I have a feeling they don't do the January transfer window with the Scottish. But if they do, that's a bit surprised because we would have known.
They don't do as much, which is a shock. I'm on the key dates, so let's have a look. Sky Sports Cup, no, it's not it. Fixtures, winter break, no. Fixtures resume when that's 2027. There is no news on transfers.
No, there isn't. So that sounds like there's not going to be. Yeah.
I'm just going to go down one more route and then we'll see.
Okay, so you surprised that James Wilson's deal to Arsenal is he only will compete for spot for early 21's team, and it is a view to a permanent deal.
Yep. I actually think James Wilson would be better staying where he is, and Arsenal coming back in the summer with a permanent deal. Because we all know that James Wilson's not going to get a game, he's just going to sit on the bench for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because Arsenal's far too strong.
Exactly. Yeah.
The only way he'll get a game is like domestic cups or if somebody gets injured. That's the only way he'll get a game.
Aye. So yeah, I just found something on Instagram. So the SPFL Scottish women's window, I found something now 4 weeks ago actually. So that will be open till the 5th of February. I found it now. So
the 5th of February, so there's still 3 days to go on that.
Yeah.
And I'll go on X because that's where I get most of my Twitter news.
Well, I found it on Instagram on the FPFL.ICO. So I found it for you. So yeah.
I'll just log in just to see if there's anything. I doubt there is, but it's always worth a shot on Deadline Day. Because I've got both Hearts and Hibs women's Twitter. So we'll just have a quick scurry through.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we'll see
I'll send you the link in our group chat so you can see it because I found it now. So yeah. Because that took time to find what was going on. So yeah.
No news on Hibs so far. No news at all. On Hibs. We can discard that.
Yeah.
Let's check Hearts women. Just for fun.
Let's see. It took a bit of hard work to find that, so I glad I found it. So yeah.
58 minutes ago from Hearts Women, Carl, we are delighted to announce that Olive Byrne has signed her first professional contract with the club until 2028, subject to SFA approval. So that's a youth prospect coming into the Hearts Women's side.
Okay.
But that's just internal stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that,
not much. Yeah.
Nada.
All right. No, that's fine then. Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed with Leeds have been mediocre of not signing players. So I like I say, I think because we've what happened last time when we signed players in the January transfer window back in the Premier League, when we signed Winston McKinney, who came overweight, and we signed Jorginho Ruta for big hefty money.
I like Jorginho Ruta. He was good for years.
I know, and then we sold him to Brighton as well, so because of the BSR stuff. So it's a bit disappointing that we're not signed, as because Harry Wilson looked like he's going to stay at Fulham until the end of the season. I don't know if they're going to get a deal done with his contract extension. So.
I think he'd be better staying at Fulham personally.
Especially going into his last 6 months of the deal, and yeah.
Because if he doesn't sign the contract within 6 months, he can sign pre-contract agreements from now, and he could leave on a free.
Well, only to European clubs if he wants to go to but I think he wants to stay in England. So yeah, it's a good question of if he does. Come to any club. It depends where we are. So it depends which club he wants to go to that fits it. So yeah. But like I said, it's still not much happening at the moment within an hour. But we've just got some news from Sheffield United. Leo Helde has joined on loan from Sunderland until end of the season for the rest of the season. He's yet to play. He yet to play for the first team since he had his injury back in the most of the season. He made his return into the under-21s as well. So, yeah.
You broke that just before Sky.
Yeah.
You broke it, 2 seconds before Sky? Well done.
Yeah, well, Sky. So I had to refresh my live blog on the Sky E4 transfer window, and that just came out, and so...
1-0 to me and you over Sky then, Carl. Well done.
For now, yeah. We might not beat Sky altogether.
Here's our friend Carvey outside Stamford Bridge. Let's get this.
Let's see what else comes through.
The next big superstar when it comes to young central defenders in France.
Motion detected at the front door.
Cheers, Alexa.
We reported on Friday that Chelsea were the club he wanted to move to. But I think something strange was going on in the background, because we're also being told that Liverpool had
it's just a Jeremy
Jackass deal. Yeah. Nothing's going to be there. So
no breaking.
Nothing breaking on that. Yeah, so no much happening. All the news from Brighton. Brighton's Bargain Gunda has joined RB Leipzig on loan till the end of the season.
Matt O'Reilly's returned from his loan spell at Marseille as well. So I don't know if he'll be seeking to prove himself at the Amex or seeking another loan move away from the Amex.
I don't know, because I know he's been back and forth since he had an injury.
I felt sorry for him because he played one game for Brighton, and in that one game he broke his leg.
Yeah,
and that was his £8 million. Was it his £8 million move from Celtic? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was 25 million. Oh, the 8 million. It was 25 million pound to be moved from Celtic to Brighton.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was big money.
So we've got the money for that. See, this is where I'm going with this. We've still got some of the money for that. Potentially got Aaron Engels' money if he gets sold today. And we just...
yeah.
The Scottish transfer market.
I know. You see your frustration there, Stefan. I feel your pain, okay?
I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys have done fantastically with your signings. You've got the right scout, the right access to all the technical bits of software that can find you your Bragas, your Matos, your Kazaridases. is where any other club in Scotland, apart from Rangers and Celtic, don't have access to that, and we're scrambling around the market like flies around bananas.
See, you had
Like
that.
deals.
You had that when you had Bill Foley in, and look how that didn't work out for you guys at Hibs.
Well, the only reason it didn't work out, and I'll tell you this, is because Hibs weren't spending the money in the allocated way.
Yeah, I heard.
So, Foley and the Black Knights Football Consortium walked away. They said, well, if you're not going to spend our money in the correct way on players and improving the squad, then we don't want to be a part of it, and quite rightly so. What I think needs to happen at Hibs, it's a bit like Man United. The Gordons need to go because Ron's not at the helm anymore. He sadly died 2 years ago now. I actually liked him. He was very, very approachable, a nice man to speak to. Always had the best interests of the club at heart. But ever since Ron's died and it's passed on to his son, Ian Gordon, he just does, don't, because I'll end up swearing on the channel.
Just swear. Go ahead. I broke it. I broke it early on, so just remember that. So
yeah, he frustrates me because the signings that Hibs make are just, well, we're not like big signings. They're not even mediocre signings. They're signings for the sake of signing somebody, just to show that they've been active in the transfer market. Yeah, some of them have come off and proven themselves and been really good servants for the club, the likes of your Joe Newells and your Rocky Marcianos. When we had him to go, he was amazing.
Okay, just to stop you there, Stefan, we've got some breaking news coming from EFA, and it is a managerial left the club. Wilbur Ismail has left Blackburn by mutual consent.
I'm not surprised.
I think it's been coming for a while.
Yeah,
with this one.
I'm so not surprised. We were just saying last night on the Championship Review how in such a desperate state Blackburn are. We're now looking at a relegation battle rather than climbing up the Championship table because we lost to Hull City on Saturday. Yeah. Hull City's flying at the moment. Take nothing away from Hull. Even the manager said he thought it was going to be a 0-0 game. You've broke it again. You've done it again. Cal 2.
Listen. Sky Sports are like seconds. Like, with TV, right? They'll be having like a 30-second delay, right? So I come way ahead of that before they got it out. So yeah.
No, it's just like I was saying what you were saying, Cal. But to be honest, I'm so not surprised. The way the Venkies have run that club since they took over, but way back when they were in the Premier League, they've ran into the ground. As I said on the Championship Review last night, they've bought a football club just for the sake of buying a football club because everybody else is these days, and they've not managed it at all well.
No, they haven't managed it at all well with that one as well. So yeah,
considering before they entered the football market, we were in the poultry market.
Yeah, well, the poultry market, and also so
chicken and eggs. I think it was. Pardon the pun, but it's true.
I know.
It was chicken and eggs before we came into the football sector, and for the first sort of season, I thought I saw some improvement, but then the second season syndrome kicked in, and they fell away, and they've just had a rather dramatic fall from grace, a bit like your Oh, dare I say it, because Ant's probably going to kill us on the Twitter, but a bit like.
Listen, I will fucking care. Okay, well, you know him. You should know him by now. You see,
Oh, yeah, I mean, not this week, but last week when you were off, he actually made a guest appearance.
Oh shit, really?
On the championship review, he came on. He came on. I think his name was something like Ant Sexy.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, I know what he does. Yeah,
he came on. We gave him like 15 minutes. He just ranted about the whole entire situation.
That's Ant for you. His cost is gonna run. You should know that by him now. I've known him for 3 years now. He's gonna run.
If you've not watched it, watch last week's episode.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was last week. I'm positive it was. I'll go back on it, and if it is, I will enter I will edit the description to include Ant's rant in the description.
Yeah, since I've given you the access to my permissions now. So yeah.
Yes.
So, actually, yeah. So breaking news: Valera Ismail has now left Blackburn Rovers as with immediate effect.
But the question is, who would want to come into that?
I don't know. You've got Gary Wright is still available.
Oh God!
You got.
That's worse.
Yeah.
That's worse. That's not a step up. That's a step down.
Well, what do you expect? He got Oxford out of the relegation battle when he came last season.
Well, all right, fair dues, but
would you have Michael? I'm gonna say. I know Michael hates it so much. Michael Beale, and you hate it, but yeah.
No.
Michael Beale or Lee Johnston. Pick your poison.
Oh God, no, neither. Okay, if the choice was free, I would definitely take Gary Round.
Thank you. Even I told you you got no other options. Would you pick your poison? Pick your poison. You know. So I'm telling you, pick your poison.
I'll tell you who I would take because I think he's available.
God.
He's ex-Sheffield Wednesday and Plymouth Argyle boss, Darren Moore.
Oh, Darren Moore, what's he doing?
Nothing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if he would like to go to a club like Blackburn because he had to deal with all the crap that he did at Sheffield Wednesday. You know,
why not?
I think that's a poison chalice, and I will say that actually.
I mean, it's not as in a bad state of Sheffield Wednesday, no by a long shot.
Yeah, you say that, but you got with the Blackburn board that have been trying to get the board out for a long time, and they're still having a battle to get that Venky's out for donkeys of years, but over a decade. So,
but they're like the Glaziers, they just don't want to sell. They'd rather keep the millions of Indian rupees and then.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's something.
Rather than sell the cup to a prospective buyer. I mean, I can see it. Blackburn going down the route of a Sheffield Wednesday scenario.
Well, and that probably have to be anyway. Right, actually, before we could come off of that for a bit, because I got some news from West Ham side of things. There could be an outgoing today. The West Ham goalkeeper, Mads Hermansen, is eager to go out alone before the deadline. He has not played a Premier League game since September, and he wants more game time ahead of a potential World Cup spot as well. Hermansen joined from West Ham from Leicester for £60.5 million this summer. He started the season as number one, but he was replaced by Alfonso Arola.
Yeah, Mads was brought in by the one and only Graham Potter. So that tells you why he's not been playing.
Well, he was a bit inconsistent at the start before.
He was.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Graham Potter likes inconsistency. And that's partly why it cost him his job at West Ham.
I think it's more. It's not just that transfer. I think it's a more partial reason.
Of course it is. But I'm just stating the fact that Mads was signed to West Ham by Mr. Potter.
Well, it was either that or David Sullivan. You can't, you know.
Well, all right. See a combination of two just for
Yeah, that's fair.
argument's
Yeah,
sake.
combination two. Yeah,
But I could see him going on to a championship cup.
it's either that or if we spend big money, do you go to a championship club? Who wants to take him? That's the problem. And the problem is West Ham. If they do let Mason Madison does West Ham let him go, they will need to get a replacement before the deadline tonight.
Yes, I get that. But Jose Sa wants to leave Wolves, so there could be a domino effect here.
I can't see Jose Sa leave. I want to see him leave, and I agree. I understand that, but I think Wolves are not going to let him tempt to go. I know that's something that that what was 2 days ago he was linked to Nottingham Forest.
Just say he stays, he plays out to the end of the season. He's going to be, by all accounts, a championship player anyway. Jose Sa won't want to play in the English Championship, despite Wolves having parachute payments.
Yeah, but who's Wolves' number one goalkeeper? Is Sam Johnston. Sa's only played 5 Premier League games this season, so it says it all completely. I think his contract is. I think he decided a 5-year deal. So I think there's a chance, like you said, he could leave at the end of the season because of that. So you maybe a particular So it could go one way. It could go, it could be a dollar effect, but I can't see Wolves do that because Wolves will need to look for a replacement themselves as well. Because I think looking at their squad,
Wolves. Watford are close to signing Udinese centre back. It was too quick. Siba, somebody or other, on loan from Udinese until the end of the season.
Okay, I'll just find. So Wolves goalkeeper, they got Dan Bentley is the other goalkeeper, Sam Johnson. So they got the 3. So if Jose Sa goes, the problem is Wolves will need to find another goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's true. Rangers were also in talk with Hansa Rostock to sign Ryan Deary before the end of the transfer window tonight. Remember, in Scotland, guys, it is a 11 p.m. deadline, not a 7 p.m. So they have 4 extra hours of transfer action.
All right, so Wolves are closing the loan.
6 if there's deal sheets.
I've just seen here Watford are closing this low signing. He said about Saba.
The 6 hours remaining Thursday in signing Wolves defender Emmanuel Abegadou with talks ongoing.
Aye.
That's another outcome for Wolves potentially.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. There's not much going on, Stefan. I don't know if we should just take a bit of a lunch break or something because there's not much happening.
No, I mean, if you want a lunch break, we can take a lunch break and maybe come back around 2:30.
Yeah, I will say so. Yeah, we could end the stream. Well, I was going to say end the stream. Yeah, because I've got the overlay of Be Right Back already. But if we could end this, we could end the stream and then come back around 2:30 at least to just see any news in the last hour. We could have a good break because we've been on since 11 o'clock. So we're over 2 hours and there's not much happening. It's been quiet, but I would say the only thing that's coming up from Vinny O'Connor and Michael Brage from Sky Sports News that Tottenham are unlikely to sign Andy Robertson today because of the situation with but Liverpool unable to record Simicast from Roma to cover, so Liverpool don't want to weaken the squad before the deadline.
Now I've just seen some news about the son of Daniel Farka.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to bring it up, right? Because this was I realized that I'll bring it. I've got it now since I wanted to leave that off for a bit because I didn't want to bring it up in a way. But but Daniel Farka's son is on the move with deadline day. Hoff and I have agreed to deal with Powerbond to sign the 18-year-old defender Lewis Elgins for the teenager. Elgins uses his mother's maiden name because his father's footballing fame. He wants to follow his own path without the potential pressure the name brings.
Fair point. Yes, so what we'll do now, guys, is we'll take a bit of a break until around 2:30, and hopefully when we come back, there'll be more transfer news to update you on.
Yes, absolutely. We will, Stefan. Thank you for everyone for joining in as well in the chat.
Come back for the second part, though.
Aye, absolutely. Like I said, we'll be back around at 2:30. We're gonna have a bit of a lunch break now. We'll start restreaming again at 2:30 as well for the after. We did for the morning to the early afternoon. We'll do from the mid afternoon till 4 p.m. What Stefan goes away, and then we'll be back for the evening slot later on tonight at 6 p.m. So thank you very much for it. Please hit that like and subscribe button as well, and please hit the hype button as well. It'll help with our content as well too. Please do so. But we'll see you guys shortly in an hour's time, and we'll have a good break. We'll be back around at 2:30. Thank you very much. So goodbye
Bye for you guys.